Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome back. Yes, this coming, on the 25th of March, will be the 26th annual crab feed for Sacramento Crime Stoppers. Now, let me share with you my involvement with that program, probably at least 10, 15 years. I've been treasurer for at least 10 years. Now, when you get a group of people that are primarily law enforcement motivated, it's a little difficult to get them motivated to work as a team because, as you can imagine, law enforcement people tend to be individuals charging ahead, do their own thing. But to get them to work together as a team, to put a crab feed on where there's going to be 500 people in attendance, and everyone is going to get something from that. If you've paid the money to come, you are going to be hopefully entertained, you're going to be well fed, you're going to be challenged, and you're going to say, you know, this is a great event and I need to support it. Now, some of the things that I have had to do with getting involved with, obviously, is treasurer. I have paid all the bills as they come in. I've insisted, if you want to get paid, give me a receipt. No receipt, no check. So we did that. Then the second thing that I would have to do is negotiate with the convention center to rent the facility for that evening, for that day. Actually, it starts about noon, 11 o'clock actually, 11 to 11, to rent that facility so that we can get there and get set up. So that usually is my responsibility. I do that alone. I don't know anyone does that. Then I have to go and get the liquor license, because you cannot serve alcohol, even give it away, without paying and having a valid liquor license. So I have to fill out the form, get it signed by the appropriate people at the convention center, take it over to the Citrus Heights Police Department, have them sign it, and then take it out to ABC, which is out on Del Paso. But you can't do it until you're at least 30 days from the event. So I did that, turned that in, and they'll notify me with our liquor license, and we'll be able to sell. Actually, we're not selling, we're giving away wine, beer, and soda because it's included in the price. Now, that's pretty much what I'm going to be winding up doing, but I'm working through a team to get set up. I have a team there that Saturday morning that will come in and they will set up 50 tables. So we are 500 capacity and we are completely booked. So we have to put down the plastic tablecloths, all the plastic, rearrange how we want it set up, make sure that the raffle prizes, our table set up. We have somebody handling the raffle table. Make sure that's all set up properly. And then as the people start to come in, the vendor to cook the crab and the rest of the food, get out of their way and make sure they do the job properly. Now, I did forget one thing that I have to do. Every year, for as long as I can remember, Bogle Winery has been gracious enough to donate. Usually they donate a case of wine and then they sell the rest of it to us at 50%. So that's always a fun thing to do. So what I normally do is establish contact with them, with their manager, and he says, that's fine, we'll do that, let me know when you're coming down. I grab my daughter. This is father and daughter day out. And we drive down to Bogle Winery, and I buy the wine, and they load it in the car, 15 cases. This year it's going to be about 15 cases. Although with my new car, I'm not too sure it'll hold 15 cases. I'm not too sure how we're going to do that. We bring it back to my house, and I unload it in my garage, store it for a couple of days, until I take it down in the morning of the crab feed, put the white wine, the Chardonnay, the white Zin, in the freezer, chill, and everything else we parcel around to the various bars. Now we have 2 bars set up, and we have people from Safe Credit Union who will man those bars. Now, I'm not too sure how many will do it this year, but my grandson and I call her his wench, but they're now engaged, so I have to clean that up a little bit. His fiance will 10 bar at one of the bars, and they will take care of that. So it's my responsibility to make sure they're set up properly, and we have a bar manager. He'll make sure all the facilities are there. Everything that they need to do is there so they can process things. I have reserved a table, and I've invited 10 people to sit at our table, and I want to make sure that they're well fed and have ample amount to drink, and that they enjoy themselves. Now, then my job kind of is over for a bit. However, as they have these raffles, and I will tell you something that you probably didn't realize. Law enforcement people love guns. They have 2 or 3 different kind of raffles with guns. And after they do that, the money comes back to me. And I'm sitting usually in the back, and I take it, wrap it all up, put a label on it as to what it is, put it in an envelope, put it in my briefcase, and keep it under my table. So I collect the money. My granddaughter is a tremendous help in doing that. And then at the end of the evening, we have a group from El Dorado, the young cadets, and they clean the place up. Thank goodness, because the last thing you've been there since for 12 hours, and you won't have to clean it up. But you've got to clean it up, otherwise we don't get our refund back. So I then at the end kind of walk around, make sure that everything is kind of cleaned up, everything is put back where it should be done, where it should be. Everyone has done their job. And I'm writing checks for the vendor, for the entertainment, for anybody who has a bill. I write the checks for it at that time. Bring it home, settle down, and have a good glass of wine myself. And then the next morning, when it's quiet, then I get up and count the money. I usually have somebody come over from the Crime Stoppers to help me count it, and we count it and put it in. But then, as you look back and realize, this thing can only happen if everybody's willing to donate their time, their effort, and leave their egos at the door. It is the safest place in the world to be on that day, because there are more law enforcement people in there carrying weapons in their purses, in their bags, behind them, you never know. But it's a great event. Law enforcement people are not particularly spending. They're not. They don't spend a lot of money because they make a lot of money. But they understand the importance of it, and they're there to support it. When you have a chief of police with 5 or 6 different chief of police, detectives, the DA's office there, everybody's on their best behavior. It's all done. We have a successful crab feed. I make a report of how well we did. We sit there and critique each other, and I look back and I say to each and every one of you, it's a success because of what you have done.